Welcome to the Stereofade podcast, where we discuss music news and provide interviews with amazing artists from around the music scene. Now, here's your host and editor-in-chief of Stereofade.com, Josh Brown.
All right, well, let's get started. All right, introducing to the Stereofade podcast, we have the band Internet Tears. How's it going,
Hello.
guys?
What's up?
Howdy.
Hey. Well, it's good to see you all. Listen to some of your music. It's really nice, so I appreciate being able to learn about you all, and hopefully I can learn a little bit more about you all and, you know, your kind of musical journey. So pretty much, I just want you all to introduce yourselves one by one, just kind of tell the world, you know, who you are and what instrument you play, or if you do vocals.
Okay, I'll start. My name's Daniel Louis. I'm the singer and songwriter of the band Internet Tears, and I started Internet Tears with Zack here.
I'm Zack.
Sorry, I was pointing to you.
I don't know if you had more to say.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's all I have.
Okay, I'll go. Yeah, I'm Zack Apuzzo. I play drums in the band.
And I'm Esteban Felipe Rivera Ortiz Gonzalez de la Cruz, and I play bass in the band.
Awesome.
That's it.
Nice to meet you all. All right. So, yeah, I'm just going to get started with basically how you all formed the band. I think it was Zack and Daniel. Yeah, y'all pretty much. So just tell me a little bit about, you know, how you started, how it became to be.
Yeah, man. I started Internet Tears. I started just like making music. Simple as that. Like I literally was in a different band making different type of music, and I wanted to make this style of like electric pop, indie rock kind of music, and I didn't want to like push it on my other musician people that I was working with. So I just wanted to like make art for what it was, and I ended up meeting Zack on the internet. Literally. And he happened to come across some of the music and he was into it. And at this time I was kind of like looking to at least have a drummer, just like a sidekick or partner to help like make this come more to life rather than me just making music. And, you know, Zack is really the mastermind behind the live performance and creates like a totally different atmosphere. You do. You help a lot, you know, in that regard as well. So we you know, put our strengths together to create Internet Tears. And then we have, you know, Chris and Esteban that joined later on. And, you know, this is like our official lineup, and this is like for, you know, the new year and, you know, all the new songs coming out. So we're excited.
That's awesome. How would you come up with the name Internet Tears?
I think I saw it on the internet once. Honestly, we were not, but seriously, like every band I've ever been in, I kind of named it not because I was like my choice. It was just because I always came up with like a name, and then they're like, "Oh, that's a cool name." But for Internet Tears, I had a list of names, and there were some names on that list that like I've wanted to name a band. But I just kind of felt like maybe Internet Tears for like the identity of the sound of what it was. It's we're like kind of an emotional band in a way. So I don't know. I kind of feel like it just kind of fit this kind of style as well. So I don't know. I just went with that. And every time somebody asks me what the band name is, I say it's Internet Tears, and they're like, "Oh, it sounds like a band."
Everyone says it's cool to me.
That's good. No one says it's bad. Which is good. I mean, I would like
the name's important.
I would like to hear that. Has anybody said it's bad?
I mean, I don't even like Daniel. I just like the name of the band. I just wanted to be in a band called I like it.
Hey, I like it too. I was asking about is it Internet Tears or Internet Tears? I'm like, either way sounds good. So I think Tears is better. So I think you got the right choice for it.
Yeah, I think the name too. The name, it kind of fits with some of the lyrics too, because it's a lot of the lyrics are emotional. That kind of fits with the band name as well.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I was Reddit crying on like a, you know. Sorry,
that's awesome. So, yeah, since you're talking about some of your songs, I do want to just bring up your newest song, "I Want You," um, and it's a pretty nice track. I listened to it today, and I want to hear more about how it came to be. And I read a little bit of inspiration, but if you can just tell us about who hurt your feelings, for you to make this song.
Yeah, no, it's not about feelings, though. It's not. It's actually a nice song. It's about like who won your feelings,
Right.
And I think there isn't like, I don't know. We wanted to promote something nice, not like who hurt our feelings. I think even right now, like it's just a positive thing that we wanted to put out there, as a band, and rather it be like a breakup song, it's just something that's more positive. I mean, when I wrote it, I definitely was like in that motion of like love and acceptance and connection and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's like kind of the vibe of this song. And this is one out of the two that we brought to Black Barrel Records, and they're really excited to work on it. And just like our last song, "Death and His Friends," this is another song that's like kind of revamped with Black Barrel Records. So we kind of worked together to make it the way it sounds now. I mean, we've had so many versions of this song, but this is the the newest updated final gift of "I Want You." So yeah, that's a little bit about it. And I would say I think we all agree this is one of our favorite songs and one of our best songs to play live. So
For sure.
we do enjoy playing it live, and that's part of the reason why we have the music video that way as well, just like a live music video for the song.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that it's not a breakup song, because it seems like that's all that you hear in pop music nowadays. It's just somebody getting their feelings hurt. And back when I grew up on music, I mean, it was all about love and finding your next love and significant other, and it was a lot, especially kind of that R&B pop back in the day. I don't know how you all are, but I'm not old, but I grew up on 90s music, and it was a lot of love involved. So it's good to hear that back, with the newer.
Yeah, that's kind of the
music.
idea a little bit. That kind of like 90s throwback R&B kind of vibe with the vibes to the actual like energy of the song lyrically, for sure. So I like that you bring that up like that.
I've certainly noticed that trend coming, where it seems like most of the top 25 are all pretty sad and negative music. Like if you think of Billie Eilish, and it's nice to kind of bring in more of that fun and less serious type of music back.
I agree. It's funny. I was thinking as soon as you said that, like Billie Eilish, yeah, and then you said it. So yeah, I agree. So no, that's good now.
Our new songs, we have a good mix of like all different kind of vibes, which is fun, especially with the new songs.
It's good. I can't wait to hear it. So at the end of that track, I'm pretty sure I heard a saxophone. Is that right?
Yeah.
Someone playing who was doing that? Who's the saxophonist?
So, nobody here.
Nobody here. I wish I could play that. So that's actually our friend Keegan Smith. He's from July and the Serotones, and we were fortunate enough to have him come in and we record him in our old studio space, and that was a lot of fun working with him. Like, we're definitely inspired by bands like the 1975. I'm wearing the shirt right now, and they have a lot of saxophone on their songs. So it was. I think you first had the idea of putting a saxophone on that, so it was just cool and it's fun, and it fit the song, and I loved it.
Hey, yeah, I love it too. I mean, it's real smooth, so you can tell your friend that we like it. It's a good choice.
I'll be sure to tell him.
That works. So, yeah, you mentioned your previous single, "Deaf and His Friends." So, how did that song come to be?
That was the first song I ever made for the band Internet Tears. So I made it like starting off the band, and it was nice to like have it be the new song for Black Bell Records, because that was something that we also like felt that was like our personal identity to like represent our band, you know? So I think that that's in having that in mind, that's the reason why it sounds that way. But also during the time that I wrote it, one of my favorite bands and singers, his name was Garrett Garfield, and he was in a band called Death and All His Friends. And they're from a band from Utah. And it's like in loving memory of Garrett Garfield. So, you know, having a song that like encapsulates that, as well as like having interviews like this and being able to bring that up is part of the reason why the lyrics are that way. And that's another song that's like, it's more of like, it's not a breakup song, you know, it's different. The vocals balance the composition of the entire thing in a different way. That's kind of part of the reason of why that song is made, for sure.
I enjoyed kind of the synth sound. I don't know if there's synths being played or, you know, a live instrument, but I do enjoy that sound that I heard on it. So I love the song.
The Rhodes piano. Yeah.
Okay.
Dun dun. The beginning.
Yeah.
Hey, can't go wrong with some Rhodes. You got little Pharrell Williams in there hitting that Rhodes. Yep. So that's awesome. So yeah, so I just love your 2 new singles with Black Barrel Records. I'm gonna skip ahead. I had some questions about Black Barrel Records later, but we'll go ahead and kind of lean into it. So you're with them now. You have the 2 new singles with it with them. How's your experience been with Black Barrel?
It's been good. I mean, we're still in the early stages too. I mean, we we just have our first show of this year that we're going to be doing with representation with Black Barrel in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. But, you know, a lot of it has been just introducing the bands to the world kind of thing with these new songs. And they've done, like, you know, our publicist, Erica, shout out to her. She's been doing so great with so many different outlets and being able to just represent us and present us. And that's one thing that, you know, we are blessed to have the opportunity to do for sure with these new songs and working with them. And that's what we've been doing. And it's just the beginning, honestly, you know, so we have so much more to come with them. And, you know, we have so many music, we have so much songs already written and, you know, ideas for music videos and stuff like that. So I should be expecting a lot.
That's awesome. So while you're making a song, you know, either on your own or in the studio, can you walk us through a bit of the creative process and how you actually, like, beginning to end, you know, how your thought process and how you kind of go into making kind of on a general level your music?
Yeah. So first I sit in my room and I think about all the sad things that happened to me. You know, honestly, with how things have been going, it does kind of start with me, with my idea, you know, with what's in my head or what I just feel at the moment with writing and recording. So it just kind of starts in a personal place for sure. But, you know, right now with what we're doing with our newest song that we are currently recording in the studio this week, which is going to be our newest single, you know, we're really working together to make these songs. So I'll come with an idea and, you know, Zack has, you know, his whole parts that he uniquely wrote. And, you know, each of us will have our own spotlight to be able to like throw a little sauce on the whole idea. So that's kind of how we're, you know, as we're going and taking steps with the band, I feel like we're able to collaborate more with, you know, with as time goes by with, you know, us being in a band together.
Working with James and Zach too, I know on Saturday we did a whole drum day recording for this song, and for the first time, I've never really worked with a producer before on music, so it was actually a nice relationship because we were talking about like, oh, what if we try this? What if we try that? And there was a situation where he kind of kept pushing me to do this fill a certain type of way at the ending of the song. And after a couple tries, it ended up like I didn't really understand it at first, but then like you keep going with his direction, and it was actually like, you know what, this is awesome. I really like that. So it kind of working with other people, we're able to build a song in different ways and for the better. So
That's awesome. Yeah, that's kind of good to hear. You know how you come together to make the song. Well, in the past, lead with Daniel and everybody kind of fills in, but you plan on being more, I guess, collaborative. With the future songs.
Even with the label. I mean, that to add to what Zach's saying. I mean, from artist to label. I mean, the label's been helping producing and creating, I guess, with these new songs and with their input. So it is really a group effort with all these songs, and I think that it's just going to make the best out of the idea. Honestly,
that's awesome. So, so Daniel, or pretty much anybody, who do you consider some of your musical influences? Just current influences or past influences that kind of help you contribute or mentally when you're writing your music.
So I'll throw one out here. So I bet no one in the room knows, but there's this Finnish band called Him. And it's
dude, Bam Margera.
Okay.
Viva La Bam, Him, dude. You know the heartogram from Viva La Bam? It doesn't matter.
All right. Well, Him is probably my absolute favorite band, besides like the big, like, Led Zeppelin, Metallicas that are just like, duh, but like just like the niche, just like the band that no one really thinks about. That's just my favorite is absolutely Him. Billy Fallow is one of my favorite singers of all time.
Isn't that song In My Arms? In my arms,
right here,
yeah,
right
it's such a good song. See, I learned every time we do an interview, I like learn something about the band. I didn't even know that.
My favorite band.
My favorite band is the 1975. Like, I really like Matty Healy as an artist, like the singer. He's a really cool creator. But honestly, like right now, if somebody's like, what's like an artist you've been constantly listening to? It's this artist named Joe. It's like DJO. It's a dude from Stranger Things. Yeah, okay. He's really cool. He's like like an actor that came out with an album called Divide, I think it's called. But I've been listening to that a lot, and I like Remy Wolf a lot, and Lola Young, just like a bunch of indie pop artists I've been listening to a lot lately. So yeah,
that's awesome. Is that everybody? Yep.
I haven't gone yet. Yeah, so similar to Daniel, I'm definitely inspired by, if you want to talk drummers specifically, George Daniel of the 1975. And I think Miles Morris of Bad Sons are two big influences on my personal playing. I mean, I grew up listening to Green Day, so Trey Cool is a huge inspiration of mine in terms of like early playing. But my style now, I tend to study pop drummers and just general music. Really interested in a lot of like modern bands that kind of like us, where they'll take sound from the 80s and instruments from the 80s and use that as inspiration to make music, but have the modern production spin on it.
I love Neon Trees. I might see them next
we got to
Friday.
meet them like 6 months ago.
I'm trying to go photograph. I think you said Green Day. I saw they popped up coming to my area. So
nice.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing them in New York in August.
Oh yeah. So you gave me some people I've heard and some people I need to go listen to, and kind of see how that shapes your sound. So I appreciate that. So besides musical influences, are there any books, movies, or any type of other art that may have inspired you?
Yeah.
Tricky question.
I have an answer, but
let me spit this at you. So I love tennis, and I consider tennis an art form.
I agree.
Thank you. I feel validated. But for me, when I play tennis, like the meditation, the yin and yang between the partner and yourself, and just trying to see the ball, plan what you're going to do, and execute it, and then respond. I think that it's meditative, and to me, it's an art form. I think it's beautiful. And when you see like really professional players, the way they play, I think it's just art. I think it's art.
That's awesome.
I would say, like, for me, I'm really into like classic cinema and movies. That's like something I'm really into, and I help create a lot of the like visual art for internet tiers, and I think like maybe Martin Scorsese or like a lot of just like older style movies, kind of it's kind of part of like the universe of like where we've been with a lot of our music videos, just kind of this classic um, feel, so we try to do that, and we're just excited for our new music videos that we have planned. So that's just something that we care a lot about the visual of the band a lot.
Yeah.
Like Daniel doesn't let us go on live without like at least like a half hour of makeup. I'm kidding.
Now you got to look good.
For
Oh,
me, I'm not really much of a movie or TV guy, but I'm really into video games, and I have a lot of passion for many staple games in my life. Not too many recently impressing me, but definitely inspired as a non-musical art form is from games and story-based games.
Yo, I peaked at Pokemon Yellow version in 1999. That's my peak.
So it's definitely inspiring for me to see a different medium of telling stories, and that kind of reflects on music as well, where like you can tell a story with music, with concept albums or even single songs, and I mean, even with the artwork, with album artwork, I'm definitely when I think of art pieces, the first thing I think of is my favorite album art, and that's like something I could visually see inside of my head.
Oh, those are all good answers. I appreciate. I was trying to give you a kind of a trick question, something you haven't really thought about. It's like what?
Yeah,
outside of music?
one.
Oh, that's pretty good. I'm just looking at some of your artwork for your recent singles, at least, and it definitely kind of pops. Kind of catches the eye. So that's awesome. So, next question I want to ask is: so, were you all born and raised in Connecticut, or kind of moved there, or at least have been there for a while?
I was born in New York, actually.
Okay.
I'm from New York too.
Oh, you really? See, I didn't know that.
What?
Found out. Do y'all know each other?
I don't know. I didn't know. He also like.
We're in a band together, but we don't look at each other.
Kind of like a Billy situation going on here. We're just.
I moved to Connecticut 4 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm originally from Yorktown, New York. And before I moved to Connecticut, I was actually in Colombia, South America for 3 years. So Yorktown to Colombia, back to Yorktown, and then to Bridgeport 4 years
Wow,
ago.
no accent. And then I lived in Connecticut for like 10 years, so I'm a little half and half.
So you're basically Connecticut at this point, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
So-
on nutmeggers now.
So how do you think the Connecticut being in Connecticut has shaped your sound for your music, or has it?
I think it's like I feel like it's kind of like the city of New Haven or Black Rock, like Bridgeport, Connecticut, but really it's New York City too. We've been playing a lot in these areas, so saying we're a Connecticut band, we're a little bit of both. We play in New York City, we play in Connecticut, and I feel like both of those vibes together kind of helps. Like I think like being at night in the city, playing a show, and it being an internet tier show is a very internet tiers feel, for sure. When you come to New York City, and see us play live, yeah, I feel like it's a different feeling versus like if you were to see us in New Haven or in Connecticut. But I think it's just the atmosphere of the city as well, and
And the pizza.
and the pizza, yeah, and the pizza, and just the vibe.
I have a different approach to this. I feel like our sound is not coming from the state, and I think we're able to fit in a space and hopefully grow a space in this genre to grow it more here. I think I think the main two genres coming out of Connecticut right now is like funk pop bands and with some soul. A lot of bands with horn sections. I think that's a really popular genre right now coming around here. And I think the other side is there's a lot of there's still a metal scene and kind of hardcore punk bands that are still going. I mean, you have bands like Hatebreed that's kind of getting big, and bands like Currents. I think Currents is from Connecticut as well, but you don't really see that like that poppier side coming here, at least from my circle of bands I've seen. Sure. So, and in fact, very often you get bands. Most bands I feel like skip Connecticut. Well, they'll play in New York and Boston, and they don't really come around here. So I think we actually do kind of inspired by both that New York City, but I think also like a California kind of music scene as well, just having that kind of more upbeat sound to it. And I think it kind of sets us aside for between our peers in this area too.
So just a couple more questions left for you. So what can we and the rest of your fans expect from you all in the near future? Like if you have any like album plans or tour plans or anything like that?
We have these 2 songs that we just came out with as basically an introduction to, Internet Tears and like who we are kind of. But we have a brand new song that we're going to be coming out with soon with another music video. So it's going to be kind of the next chapter of our band. And we have a lot of songs that we have written. So we're just kind of working out right now whether we want to do an album. We have a lot of things in the works with Black Barrel on, where we want to take this year. But we definitely have, aside from music and videos, we're definitely going to be booking a couple shows throughout the year as well. So, out of state as well, whether it be just Connecticut, New York, but definitely like out of state stuff that we're going to be doing. We're doing the Launch Festival in Lancaster, right?
Yeah,
Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which will be our first show of 2024. So we're getting ready for it.
So let's see. I'm going to see how you answer this question. Where do you see your band, Internet Tears? Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
Oh, here you go. Esteban.
Oh, if you want me to tell you, I'd love to be honestly like
5 years. That's a long time.
In 5 years,
Yeah.
You know how like
he might not be in the band. You might be like, what's going on here? It's 5 years.
Depends on how I answer this question, but I would love to be like the bassist of a really popular band that everybody knows, but no one knows who the bassist is, so I can go and live my life in peace, still enjoy being in a rock band. Everyone's like, oh man, like I love this band. I'm like, yeah, they're cool. I mean, their bassist sucks, but they're cool. And they just don't even know it's me, and I could just like walk around in peace, like.
So he wants to live comfortably.
I really do feel for like the Biebers of the world, like that. That's not
a
an
good
easy
question.
life.
I don't think we've ever gotten asked that question. In 5 years, where do we see the band? Honestly, you never know. With music and how things go. Like I started music in a touring band before like TikTok was invented. And like Instagram wasn't like meant for music or any of that stuff, and it was different. I just kind of feel like the reason why we are in a band is because we enjoy making music, and I think that 5 years from now that won't change. That's going to be our constant thing, that we enjoy what we do, and regardless of what life throws at us, like I feel like we'll still be enjoying the music that we make, regardless of. You never know. That's the thing with our bands. Like another thing is like we have a lot of different sounds as well. Like aside from the 2 songs that we do have a couple other songs that we have released on Spotify and the internet that show you different sides of our band. So having that capability gives us a little bit more of like an expansion of what we could be. So it really is the beginning of our band.
As long as there's still internet, there will still be Internet Tears.
Oh, you just came up with that.
If you want to be specific too in terms of growth, like I think in 5 years, I would love to see us be able to kind of be an opening band for many of the favorites that we just mentioned. That would be really cool to play in like a larger place like College Street Music Hall and be able to go on a tour supporting act of people like the 1975 and other bands that we're inspired from.
That would be very nice.
Or they might be opening for you all. You never know.
Yeah. Having our own headline tour.
With the 1975 opens for me. Yeah, right.
They'll just be legacy acts, and you'll be
legacy.
Yeah.
The legacy tour.
Farewell tour.
If you could collaborate with any artist, dead or alive, who would it be? Pick one of, for each of you.
Oh, that's good.
That's easy for me. I thought of one right away. It's Prince. Hell yeah. Just bring him in. That's all you need. All you need would be Prince. I relate a lot to him as a musician, but he's kind of also that guy that he has all these ideas for all the instruments, for all the song. You can just give a song to Prince and he can just come up with the idea or just come up with his rendition of it. So I don't know. I just, that would be an easy answer for me.
For me, I'm going to steal someone's answer and say the 1975, just because I know it's going to ruffle some feathers. And
I didn't say it. I
make it more difficult.
Yeah. So now Zach really has to think. No, I'm kidding.
It's hard to choose one, but I'm going to go with Mark Foster of Foster the People, both as a songwriter and as a producer. Would be awesome.
Actually, Blink-182
awesome.
would be great.
Yeah. Or Johnny Frank. Shout out to
Johnny Frank. That'd be amazing.
I don't know if you know him. He's a singer of a band called Bill Murray. That's another big band that we really like a lot. But that would be a cool.
What was his
He's
name?
very creative. Johnny Frank.
Johnny Frank.
And the band name is called Bill Murray. It's just spelled differently.
Yes,
They're funny.
They're very creative. Very creative band.
I got to check him out. I haven't heard of him. So, last question. Let's see how we're going to ask this. So, what is one musical... let's back up. What is one non-musical talent or hobby that each one of you have?
We got real quiet in here.
Yeah.
I like
this was a music podcast.
Obviously, besides the tennis thing, but I love kayaking. So I'll take my kayaks out and go to the beach, and sometimes go farther than I thought I would, and then kind of try to get back before low tide. And I love just being out there in the water and just seeing all the boats and the sun and at nighttime the moon. It's super cool.
I'm gonna send you stock footage of Esteban on a kayak. So when he's explaining that, just video of him on a kayak. I like to cook. I do like cooking, actually. But I like to skateboard and I like to make videos and movies and stuff like that. So that's some of the stuff I like to do aside from music. So just create in different ways.
Hobbies, I guess I'm really into cars. I like driving. I haven't done it yet, but I would love to take my car to a track one day or go to a track and test out like an R8 or something. That would be a lot of fun. I've never done it, so can't say it's a talent, but that'd be my answer.
Yeah, I like cars too. It's cool.
I can drive stick.
It counts as a hobby.
Yeah.
So anything you all want to add?
No, check out our 2 songs that we have out with Black Bell Records, Death and His Friends, and our newest one, I Want You. We actually have a music video for that as well. So if you want some visual to that, we also have that out. And, this is just the beginning, like we said. So we have some, expect, new music coming soon, very soon.
If you follow us on Instagram, look out for all of our show dates. And I think that's a big other side of the coin is the live show is a lot of fun and has a lot of energy. So it's a little dancey. It's a fun time. So definitely, if you're around us, totally come to a live show. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we have like exclusive merch too for the live shows. So we, like if you see anything that you might could get at a show, and we have all this like cool new stuff that we have coming with the live show.
So yeah, it was a pleasure talking to you all. Hope you all have much success in your music career, and I hope to get to chat with you in the future.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Enjoy.
Thanks for listening to the Stereofade podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to the show and check us out on our website, stereofade.com, on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at @Stereofade, and on YouTube at @Stereofade Podcast.